Before we dive into the fascinating story of Counselor Deanna Troi's role in the Star Trek universe, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to stay up to date on all the latest news and updates, links on object structure. When discussing Counselor Deanna Troi in Star Trek Generations, it's easy to overlook the experiences she had in Star Trek The Next Generation in an era where mental health was heavily stigmatized. Having a main character as a counselor was groundbreaking. However, during the series, TNG struggled to find suitable roles for Deanna Troi, often casting her as a romantic interest or a passive figure in her own narratives. In the movie Star Trek Generations, Commander William Riker instructs Deanna Troi to take control of the ship when the USS Enterprise D is under attack due to an impending warp core explosion. The Enterprise had to perform a saucer separation. However, the shockwave from the breach caused the Enterprise's saucer section to be ejected from its orbit. With Troi manning the helm, an emergency landing on Viridian 3 unfortunately resulted in the destruction of the Enterprise D's saucer section. Critics argue that Troi was responsible for crashing the Enterprise, suggesting that if she hadn't been at the controls, the ship wouldn't have met such a fate. However, they seem to be overlooking one vital detail. The Enterprise D's saucer section was destroyed due to an unavoidable chain of events caused by the warp core breach and the subsequent saucer separation, rather than any fault on Deanna Troi's part. In the 16th episode of Star Trek The Next Generation's 7th season, titled Vinone's Self, Counselor Deanna Troi was promoted to the rank of Starfleet Commander. This occurred 2 years after her promotion to Lieutenant Commander in the 5th season's 5th episode, Disaster. In this earlier episode, Troi held the highest rank on the bridge, but she was unsure about her command abilities and relied heavily on junior officers for guidance. Fearing a repeat of this situation, Troi decided to take the Bridge Officer's exam as Captain Riker supervised the exam, which Troi successfully completed by learning to prioritize the ship's needs above those of the crew. In Star Trek The Next Generation, it wasn't immediately apparent that Counselor Troi held the rank of Lieutenant Commander for much of the series, because she usually wore civilian attire during duty hours. Okay. However, when Captain Edward Jellicoe forced her to wear a uniform in the 2-part episode Chain of Command from season 6, it became evident that Troi held the rank of Lieutenant Commander. This change in attire signified a shift in how Troi was portrayed. As more episodes started focusing on her abilities as a Starfleet officer, after she was promoted to commander, Troi and her peers developed greater confidence in their leadership abilities. In Star Trek Generations, Commander Deanna Troi demonstrated her proficiency as a Starfleet officer, a fact that Commander Riker was well aware of when he instructed Troi to take the control of the ship. And as the USS Enterprise D was unable to regain its orbit around Viridian 3, it became clear that the vessel was beyond saving. However, thanks to Deanna Troi's expertise and additional command track training, she remained calm under pressure and made swift decisions, successfully guiding the Enterprise D for a safe crash landing of Viridian 3, a landing that miraculously prevented any catastrophic personnel casualties. It's too narrow-minded to assume that Deanna Troi couldn't pilot the Enterprise D because she was a counselor. Um, the Star Trek universe values individuals as complex beings, not one-dimensional roles. Riker had doubts about Troi taking the bridge officer exam only because it wasn't necessary for her counseling duties initially. However, Troi recognized her own limitations and took the chance to enhance her knowledge by participating in the exam. By asserting herself in Star Trek: The Next Generation, Troi was able to prepare herself for potential crises like the one in the USS Enterprise D crash during Star Trek Generations, ensuring that the crew could emerge relatively unscathed from the incident. And on a lighter note, it's clear that Deanna Troi's piloting skills are out of this world. After all, she managed to land the Enterprise D on Veridian 3 without a single work core breach. Or did she? With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.